Hello and welcome. My name is Francesco Scartosi and I'm the Director of Sales for the Americas. Um, Today, basically, I wanted to talk to you about Matrox as a company. And fundamentally, who we are is a hardware manufacturer. And we make hardware for the creative professionals. And if you slice up the editing process and what you do on a daily basis, I think you can quite simply break it up into four quadrants. You input, you shoot your footage, and the next step is to edit. And whether you edit with Mac or PC, Final Cut, Adobe, or any other package. Then during the editing process, obviously you need to output and monitor what you're viewing, or output it back to tape. And because of the way we're consuming our media today, the delivery process is also becoming part of your workflow. And whether it be web, mobile devices, or home entertainment systems. So where we come in is we clearly have hardware that meets the pain points of input and output during your editing process. And I want to talk to you about that, and that's where we're going to start off. Um, but the real magic and where we as a hardware manufacturer have carved and found another pain point in your in your editing process is in the delivery. And that's what really makes us stand apart from other I/O devices on the market. And my goal is that by the end of this session, you walk away knowing exactly what we as a hardware manufacturer could bring to you as a creative professional, not only in the input output of your editing process, but also in the delivery. Okay, so let's begin. We'll start off with the MX-02, a product that we started shipping back in September 2008, and which really started this whole editing input-output device product family for Matrox. If we take a look at the MX-02 and see why it stands out, well, it stands out for some truly unique features. The first one is that it is truly portable. Taking a look at this unit, and you can be passing it around now, you can take a look at the fact that it's very lightweight. It has all of you know the aspects or dimensions that you need if you are considering an editing station that is mobile. Because of the fact that it's built on one PCB, there are no moving parts, so it's road ready and rugged. It is designed to take a beating. If you take a look at those ears, those look like nice design elements, but they're also there to protect the inputs and outputs. Um, Obviously, if you're looking at a portable editing solution, you're also taking a look at whether the device, the input-output device, is able to run off batteries. And of course, the MX-02 is. You can also, when you're at home base, connect it to your classic wall power. One of the features that is selling the unit exclusively or on its own is the fact that, as you can tell, we have direct surround sound monitoring right on the box. This is a unique feature of I/O devices out there, portable I/O devices. Others would require that you would actually buy extra pieces of equipment to get to your surround sound monitoring. Codec agnostic. Now, this is a very unique feature and one of the main reasons why the MX-02 is sold extremely well into the broadcast community. One example I like to use is CNN. CNN standardized on the MX-02 for its field journalists because of this one feature, among others, but this was the key. And what I mean by this is that um, the codec agnostic feature is best described in this story. CNN basically went through their purchasing process, and typically, like every other creative professionals out there, whether you are on the broadcast side or event space, you start with your camera. And CNN fell in love with the Sony the XD Cam EX1 cameras and standardized down across the board. They love the quality of the video. They wanted to basically and have standardized on that. The next thing they did, it was decided on the MacBook Pro. and looked at it as a very powerful platform and decided to use that as the editing platform. The next thing, of course, is how do I get my video in and out of this MacBook Pro? And that's where we came along. We were the only solution on the market that allowed CNN to be able to put XD-cam footage directly on the timeline and play it out to air. This is key. And the reason why they decided to go with us, we were the only ones that allowed them to do this seamlessly and natively. With other devices, you would have to put the either transcode to another format, which basically sacrifices quality, and let alone time. You're in the news business, you need to get this up and out to satellite as soon as possible. And with the MX-02, well, it stands out because it is the only solution to do this. The next feature, obviously looking at it, it's a toolbox. It's got all the I/O inputs, outputs you would need. Again, in the news environment, your news gathering, you send your crew out there, but who knows, maybe the guy down the street has the best shot of an event, or and he's coming to you with an HDMI camera. Well, as you can tell with the MX-02, with SDI, component, composite, YC, HDMI in, we've got all the ins and outs you would need. And sure, you wouldn't need all of them, but in this case, you're sure to get, or interface to pretty much anything that you have out there. One thing that you can't see by looking at the box is the 10-bit hardware scaler. This is a unique feature that we have at selling the box as well. Effectively means that no matter what you're capturing or editing, if your customer decides to ask you for it in a different format, you can use the hardware scaler to do the up, down, or cross conversion for you at top quality. It works with a Mac Pro and MacBook Pro, and I stress to put this on this one slide because of the fact that if you take a look at it, you hand it in your hands, you know that you quickly associate it with a MacBook Pro editing station, but not true. It's basically a very good device for a Mac Pro. And what I'm about to say as a hardware manufacturer is going to sound surprising, counterintuitive, but it's one of the reasons why we're selling this MX-02 well in the market right now, is that the fact that you can actually have it as an external input-output device to Mac Pros, is key in this economy. If you have a small production house that has 2-3 guys editing and only have the budget for one unit, well, you can actually buy the MX-02 and share it across the two editors when they need the input and output. That's the key to this technology. You can share it, and when the economy gets better, you can equip your editors with the MX-02 at every station. Okay, and obviously at a great price. At $15.95, you're effectively getting an I/O device for 2 systems. That's because I'm supplying you with both connectors to connect to a MacBook Pro and Mac Pro. So effectively, you can say that the MX-02 is an $800 I/O device for 2 editing systems in your facility because of the fact that it can work with both. Okay, so we move on, and from the MX-02, we when we introduced this back at NAB 2008, the first thing that we got feedback from customers like CNN, again, broadcasters, is the fact that once they standardize on field journalists, they on the MX-02, what they really wanted is an ability to have at home base the same technology that they have in the field, so they can feel comfortable that it'll work just as they're across the board, but in a rack mount form. They're not going to move this thing. And at that same time, they wanted us to make some minor improvements to it. So our response to their feedback was the MX-02 rack. And at $19.95, we effectively gave them exactly what they were looking for. It's really a better choice than I/O and a breakout box because we give you that all in the same package at $19.95. The improvements that we've made